So let's actually look at some examples of bank levels and imbalances. Now we're looking at Bitcoin on the 5-minute. I'm just going to completely just freestyle and just show you guys examples of bank levels and imbalances because it works on any time frame, it works on any market, even crypto. And let's just see what happens. So where could you potentially see a bank level? So right now I can see a bank level here. You can see this is very, very important. Now notice how it broke structure with momentum. And then this is the important piece of information. So I was just showing you an example of some scribbles, but now the candlesticks is a different ballgame. So what can we see? It broke structure. Normally what happens there is it breaks structure, retest, and then it goes short. But this is just a basic retail setup. What happened is there was bearish momentum, it broke structure. It failed to retest twice. This is the important clue here. Look, these wicks are indicating, and it's just imagine its fingers pointing towards where liquidity is at. It's pointing towards this particular area, right? It's failed to retest, and then eventually it went long, got on with its business, failed to retest again, and then eventually it retested and it completed the bank level, right? That's an example of a very clear bank level. And also this imbalance. Look at the imbalance from here to there, right? There's an imbalance between the retest, or we can just implement the Fibonacci and use the 50% fib, and you can see it retests it anyway. So let's look for some other examples. Where else could we see a potential area? So here, look, there's a bank level here. This is the clue. Look, this candlestick failed to retest the bank level. Normally what happens is the next candle or two, there's a retest continuation, right? But whenever we see that gap, we know that price is very likely to fill it. Now, if we implement the 50% imbalance, so we've got the bank level here and we've got an imbalance here. Notice how it literally touches it to the T, you know, to the absolute T. So this is so powerful, guys. Imbalances, banker blocks, bank levels are fantastic. And they're even more instrumental if you're implementing it with pattern structure. And this is what the institutions are trading now. They don't use Fibonacci tools and these Blu-ray lines, right? With institutions, they actually have a bunch of data showing you how much Bitcoin is at this level. And there'll be limit orders. You'll be able to see people's limit orders. You'll zoom in to the actual data and you might say something like there's 500,000 worth of Bitcoin at this particular limit order. That's all they see. And there'll be limit orders here, limit orders here. It's just a bunch of lines when you're looking at the on-chain analysis or the institutional order flow, right? And you're looking at data. When you zoom into the data, they just see numbers, right? If it's 100 Bitcoin, there will be a small rejection. When it's something like 1 million Bitcoin and you can see the limit orders, this is where the whales are at, right? But when you look at where institutions are getting involved, they are literally using bank levels, imbalances, and banker blocks without them even knowing it. It's just something that I've managed to reverse engineer, but they actually literally look at these particular areas. I'll show you an example on some on-chain analysis at a different video. You guys are going to love it. So again, an example of a bank level and an imbalance. Obviously, the bank level never really worked, but the imbalance hit to the absolute T. So let's look at some of this particular area. So, okay, notice how now here, for example, this particular bank level here, let's actually go back and show you guys. There's a bank level, but it's not valid until there's a failed retest and it goes long and it forms an imbalance, right? So let's see what actually happens. Price obviously broke the previous resistance and then it retested it. So the bank level is invalid. It's as simple as that. Here now, broke resistance, this little wick, And notice how it failed to retest multiple times. They even formed equal lows. So we know that this is a valid bank level. And we can also map out the imbalance between the bank level and the next level of the retail trap. And we can implement this imbalance here. So this is the next area where price is likely to reverse from. See what happens? Okay, look. So this bank level here got filled. Again, guys, I am completely freestyling this with you guys. Got filled. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. Come on, guys. Bank level and the imbalance. Very, very, very powerful. And this is the 5-minute chart. It works on every single time frame, even the 5-second chart or the daily chart, any chart, right? So this is done. The next bank level that I can see is here, right? And also an imbalance between the area that it broke and the next level that failed to retest. So this is the next area. Let's see what happens. This is done. Look at that. Guys, I'm literally freestyling, no word of a lie. So 50% imbalance that got filled. Whoa, look how powerful this is, guys. Very, very, very powerful stuff. I mean, if you're trading crypto, you can do wonders with bank levels, imbalances, and banker blocks. But today we're just focusing on bank levels and banker blocks. Now, where's the next level of the banker block, bank level, imbalances? A bit of a tongue twister, to be honest. But notice how there's multiple ones now. There's one here. It failed to retest, so it's valid. There's one here. It failed to retest. As you can see, it failed to retest twice. So it's invalid. The next one was here. But notice how it actually retested it. So the bank level actually got filled pretty quickly and then it went long. So we don't use this bank level here. So now we're looking at this particular bank levels, and let's also implement the imbalances. There we go. And then we've got this imbalance here from the area that it broke and the next level of support. There we go. And now there's also sell limit orders. Look at this. Look at this bank level. And there's an imbalance right there. So where do you think smart money is looking to go to? Let's see. Look at that. Rejected of the imbalance. Now it's just completely gone long, right? So we update it. This is the new bank level. Why is that the new bank level? It's because it's rallied, failed to retest, going long. So now there's an imbalance here. There's a bank level. There is unfilled liquidity. Let's see what happens. And there we go. It went long, filled the bank levels. Now institutions are looking to get involved even lower. And as you can see, there is no bank levels. There is no imbalances. Everything's been filled at the moment. So this is likely to continue dropping down towards the areas that hasn't really been filled. Let's actually tidy this up. Let's delete this. There we go. Price rallied to the upside. There was no imbalances. So it was unlikely for price to obviously fill and then drop. Now it's just completely changed direction. They want to bring price further up. So let's go with the market. We need to constantly update our bank levels and move with the market. Where is the next level of a bank level? I can see one here. Let's actually zoom in and notice how, look, boom, broke the previous resistance, failed to retest here. It's a valid bank level. The next one, another valid bank level, multiple valid bank levels. This area here is invalid because it retested it. So now we've got multiple bank levels where price is likely to reverse from. Now, which one do you take? It depends when you see a pattern. When you see the pattern, you know, the 1, 2, and the fake out, and if there's a bank level here, it's likely to do this. Right, so let's see what happens. Fast forward it. Boom, look at that. The bank level that we actually pointed out here to the left got filled. Now that it's filled, we can delete it. And now we're looking at the next bank levels. And we also can see there's a bank level right here. Also an imbalance. And there's also a bank level right here. So let's see what happens. Okay, this bank level got destroyed, but it respected the imbalance just above to the absolute T. And then look, completely dropped, right? And obviously, in terms of the exits, it's something I'll be covering in another video, but this is a liquidity pool. I'll cover it in a different video. So, okay, this is complete. Now, where is price likely to go to next? There is a bank level right here. And why here? Let's actually zoom in, look. You see that wick? Broke the resistance of the wick, failed to retest. Normally there's a quick retest, right? So now there's unfilled liquidity. There's a bank level right there. And we can also just implement the imbalance between the wick that got broken and the most relevant recent level of support. So there's an imbalance and a bank level at this area. Here now, notice how there's a break of structure, but it immediately retested it on the next candlestick. So it's not a valid bank level. Again, broke structure here to the upside, but then it immediately retested it. So it's not a valid bank level. Here now, there's a break of structure, but it failed to retest. It didn't retest immediately like it did previously. It failed to retest at 1, 2, and 3. So it's likely for price to reverse from that area. And we might even see a 1 minute boomerang somewhere here. I don't know. You know, I'm literally have no idea. But let's see what happens anyway. See what happens. Whoa, okay. That's completely gone long. And again, we followed the market. There's a bank level here. Also a bank level right here. Again, make sure to zoom in and do it properly. Look at that bank level, and then look at that bank level right there. Completely smashed through everything. So something must have happened down here for a massive, massive drop. Let's see what's actually happened. So, okay, took out structure. Must be something here to the left. Probably not enough data. I'll do that another time. But okay, so this obviously failed these bank levels to go long. But then think about it. Would you be taking a bank level there where number one, the previous rally was compressing? After compression, there's a breakout to the downside. So these are the bank levels that you'll be canceling, right? Unless price is approaching a bank level very correctively or a boomerang, then these are valid. But the sentiment of the pattern is very, very important. That's the difference between a valid trade and a non-valid trade and making money or losing money or protecting money. So they've been filled. Now let's actually update this. All these bank levels are complete. The next bank level will be up here. And there's a couple imbalances, an imbalance there, and also an imbalance right there. So let's see what happens. But I really do like this. Look, this is really interesting. Look at the liquidity. Look, retail, 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 and there's, or even down here, retail. There's very likely to be a massive move from here or from here, or even from here. There's lots of liquidity here, right? Lots of liquidity because retail right now are trading the support. Let's see what happens. Look at that. What did it respect? The imbalance. Can't make this up. This is literally live freestyling. And why was this a good trade? What do we have? We have a boomerang. A boomerang and an imbalance. Right now, I'm just getting you guys used to identifying bank levels, imbalances. We've already done banker blocks. Next, we'll be doing confluences and, what's a valid trade? What's the difference? What's the rules and the confluences? Right now, this is just a boomerang and a imbalance. What you want to see is 4, 5, 6, 7 different confluences rather than just 2 confluences. But why did this one play out? No, think about it. Momentum, compression pullback, momentum. Simple stuff. So let's see what happens next. So this particular area has been filled. Let's update the pattern. Oof, completely got filled. But notice how it got filled from the equal lows, right? And again, I'll be covering a liquidity pool afterwards. Simple liquidity pool, right? So that's been filled. And notice how, this just hit to the absolute T. But what's likely to happen next? So let's actually update the chart. We still got lots of liquidity here. And as you can see, it's made new bank levels and new liquidity. And we just keep moving with the market. But we need to move with the market with a pattern setup, with a boomerang. Let's see what happens. And look at that. Rejected of this bank level. Why was it a valid bank level? Because it rallied, failed to retest, and eventually liquidity gets hit. And lots of scalpers and intraday traders get stopped out. So now this bank level is invalid. And then look at this bank level. It got hit. Very, very high win rate on Bitcoin on the 5-minute, I must say. So that's been hit. Look at that. Come on, guys. Bank level again got filled. And notice how there is a pretty decent little boomerang here. 1, 2, and 3. And obviously, this is more of a expanding pattern, actually. But still a valid boomerang. We can even see a double confluence here. Look at that. This is a boomerang right here. Simple stuff. No wonder it went long from there. So this has been filled. Any shorts? I can't really see any shorts at the moment. Let's look for the longs. But there is a bank level here. There we go. It got filled. And then it went long. Obviously, once it goes long, it's finished. Now we can start to maybe implement a pattern here with the bank level. There might even be a sell setup here somewhere with a bearish bank level. Is there a bearish bank level? Yeah, right here. And also an imbalance. Imbalance and also a bank level just a little bit above. Let's actually zoom in. So we've got the imbalance. We've got this bank level, and there is also a bank level here that hasn't been retested. So let's see what happens. Boom, boom. Look at that. Nice, nice rejection. Boomerang setup in confluence with this parallel channel. Now, do we take this imbalance here, which is valid, but notice how it's in the middle of the pattern? We don't want that. We want it to be 1, 2, and outside of the pattern. So this is the valid one. So I definitely wouldn't have taken this one. So this is now complete. Okay, it's approaching the kill zone a little bit below. Oof, okay, here we go. So let's just stop it. Let's stop it there. So again, this bank level here from the past got filled to the absolute T. And what do we have? Equal highs. We've got resistance, resistance. Where do retail place their stops? just above resistance in the imbalances and the bank levels. So retail gets stopped out and then we get involved in a short, right? So we're just doing the opposite of retail. And the reason these bank levels and imbalances work is because the institutions do the same thing. You can see the limit orders and you can see that retail will have their stops at resistance because their stops are also the limit orders, right? And you'll be able to see it. So this is why the whales and the big institutions, they target your stops because they want to get in cheaper or at a higher price. Let's actually update this. Before we go anywhere, there is a bank level right here. As you can see. Now we do have a bit of a pattern here. So maybe there might be a boomerang forming. I'm not too sure yet. Okay, this is a bank level and there is also an imbalance right here, look. I was going to do this bank level here, but as you can see, it obviously got filled, so it's not really valid. So let's see what happens here. Again, this bank level here, as you can see, is invalid because it's already been filled. It's probably something that I missed out because look, we can actually see there is a boomerang here as well. So this is a bank level that I missed. I think the market was going a bit too fast for me on the replay button, but look, again, boomerang. 1, 2, stop hunt of resistance. As you can see, bank level here to the left, third tap, 1, 2, stop hunt, boomerang, complete. Let's go to the most relevant price action. Let's see what happens. Oh, okay. It's completely invalid now. So these bank levels have been filled. Again, you can't win them all, but you can see that the win rate is like 70, 80% anyway. But look, all these bank levels got filled. But with the momentum, we don't really want to get involved. So now that we've completed a stop hunt of this larger swing low, let's remove any relevant bank levels just above. And let's see how it reacts to the bank levels that we implemented at the start of the video, right? So it looks like this one's, they've all been filled. There's lots of rejection. Is there going to be a strong rejection eventually? Okay, there was actually a bit of a decent rejection. So it got filled at the very, very bottom to the absolute T. We look to the left and it was actually based off the very, very lowest bank level. So this is something really, really important as well, guys. So you're going to see multiple bank levels on an area, right? The lowest bank level, the very lowest, always has the highest probability trade. That's something I forgot to mention, but remember, guys, if you've got a bank level here, an imbalance, bank level imbalance is more likely for price to go to the very extreme. And obviously the institutions and the big whales, we want to get in at a lot cheaper, at a lower price and wait for a bigger stop hunt. So no wonder price reacted off the very lowest bank level. As you can see here to the left, sorry, to the right. And there we have it. So that was literally a freestyle on the 5-minute chart on Bitcoin on bank levels and imbalances. What's your thoughts on this one, Nam?
You know, as bank block is really powerful and especially with the pattern, I can avoid the forced setup and it was really amazing. And it works on every time frame and also various instrument, futures, stocks, and Forex is amazing, really.
Definitely, it's literally just works on any time frame. But the trick is to have a set of rules. Just have your set of rules because there's going to be a million bank levels, imbalances, banker blocks, liquidity pools. You need a pattern to give you that extra confirmation. So on that note, let's wrap things up and I'll see you in the next video, everyone.